have these games. Everything's very serious. There's a serious preparation for it. Nice little pass.
Hey, what's good, 10K gang? Now, today's video, I'm going to be talking about RJ Hampton. So we all know RJ Hampton is currently overseas playing for the New Zealand Breakers, and he also is still projected as a top 10 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. But this video, I just want to talk about the real reason why RJ is struggling overseas and just explain to you guys if this is actually affecting his NBA draft stock. So before I start this video, make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram at @_theonlywallace. I will put it in the description below so you guys can just click on the link and give me a quick follow. Also, make sure you guys go check out my second channel called TK Wallace Vlogs. Go subscribe to that channel because I will be dropping bangers on that channel very soon. Now let's get to the video. So first, we all know this upcoming season is going to be very important for RJ Hampton, mainly because we all know he was a top player in high school. He was ranked 5th in the ESPN Top 100, but instead of RJ Hampton taking the regular college route, he decided to skip college and go overseas and play for the New Zealand Breakers so he can go straight to the NBA draft. And honestly, in my opinion, I always supported this decision for RJ Hampton just because I know he has the talent to become an NBA player and definitely be a top 10 pick. But ever since the season started, such as the preseason, a lot of people has been skeptical about RJ Hampton's game on a professional level. Now let's talk about his stats during the preseason. So during RJ Hampton's preseason debut, he only scored 11 points, which is not bad at all. It was just his first game, but his best game during his preseason was against the Melbourne Phoenix, which he scored 20 points. So RJ Hampton, he really shows us that he can actually become a dominant player, and he's a real legit scorer, but he has to stay consistent. And when you just total up those two games, his stats together was 15 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and he was shooting 47 field goal percentage. So that is very good stats. Like, that's actually what I expect from RJ Hampton to finish off the regular season before he entered the NBA draft. But here's the thing. This is why a lot of people is starting to become skeptical about RJ Hampton's play on the NBA level. Now, I know you guys remember when the New Zealand Breakers came to the States and they played against the OKC Thunder and also the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, when they went against the OKC Thunder, there was 60 scouts at that game, mainly because of RJ Hampton, of course. And during that game, RJ Hampton scored 8 points. He shot 2 of 11 shooting from the field goal percentage. And his team also lost by 20 points, which was expected. But during that game, a lot of people really start to feel skeptical about RJ Hampton. And honestly, you know, I understand why people was feeling the way they was feeling by just watching him play, just because he wasn't really playing that good. He was taking a lot of shots and he was forcing shots, and he just wasn't looking like himself. But a lot of people need to realize that RJ Hampton is just getting used to this. Like, he's literally finding himself out. And it's just like, even though he shot 2 of 11 from the field goal percentage, he still was very aggressive. He was playing real good defense, and he was doing everything in his power to help his team at least compete. And the thing that I really like about RJ Hampton is that he really has a lot of confidence with his game. And even though, you know, he end up getting blocked, or he might fall on the floor, or he might end up taking or forcing a shot, he still is very confident and he will not back down. And that's what I really like about RJ Hampton. And I guarantee you guys, NBA scouts, they know that about him, and that's why they love him so much. Now, when the New Zealand Breakers played against the Memphis Grizzlies, it was about the same thing for RJ Hampton. He only had 2 points. He shot 1 for 8 from the field goal percentage. He only had 1 assist, and he played 20 minutes during that game. So as you can see, it kind of was worse than his first game, but it's just like at the same time, he still was very aggressive. And even, you know, NBA scouts, they saw the potential in RJ Hampton. And I really like RJ Hampton game because even though he's struggling right now, you can tell that once he gets bigger and he starts to get more confident with his game, he really is going to become something special and very dominant on the court. When you just watch him play, RJ Hampton can get anywhere on the court. Like, this guy literally know how to get past his defenders easily. He know how to create his own shots and everything. All he got to do is get bigger so he can start finishing more layups and work on his shot more so he can make more consistent shots. And it's just like RJ Hampton, he really has the potential to become a full package player. but that's all on him. That's all on how good he's going to develop playing in the NBL this upcoming season. And also another thing is, I didn't even mention his athleticism. RJ Hampton is very athletic. Like, that's one of his strong suits with his game. So it's just like, this guy really is something special. And I see why he's right now projected as the 5th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, because he's something special. But the only way RJ Hampton is going to be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft is if he stay consistent. He cannot keep shooting bad. He can't be shooting 1 for 8 from the field goal percentage and, you know, scoring 7 points per game and stuff like that. Like, no, he can't be doing that. He really has to take over. If you guys are not informed, just today he played his first regular season game with the New Zealand Breakers in the NBL. They went against the Sydney Kings. RJ only scored 7 points. He shot 3 for 7 from the field goal. He had 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. So, you know, that's okay stats. But at the same time, if he really wants to become a top 5 pick in the draft, like how he is projected to be, he really have to bring up his stats, and he have to show these scouts that he can stay consistent with his game, because this is just overseas. Just imagine once he goes to the NBA. You know, we already had a taste of him playing in the NBA, so it's just like, RJ really has to focus and just step his game up. I want you guys to leave y'all comments and opinions below on how y'all feel about RJ Hampton. Do y'all feel like he should still be a top 5 pick or no? Like I said, it's just the beginning of the season. They literally just started the regular season, so he got a lot of time to step his game up and prove everybody wrong. But in my opinion, he still is, in my eyes, projected as a top 5 pick, just because I know what he's capable of. But we all just got to see. I thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you press the notification button. TK Gang, we out.